Zach Sankey writes, "Hey everyone, I love the show and watch it every day. My question has to do with Tom Hanks. A few weeks ago, he said that he would love to play the villain in a superhero movie. Do you think DC should pick him up for star power? Could he play a good villain? What do you guys think he could play? Lex or maybe Professor Zoom? I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts."
Well, when you're talking about Tom Hanks, we are getting into the conversation of not one of the best actors in Hollywood today. We're getting into the conversation of the greatest of all time actors. We're now talking about a small class of people of who could be considered amongst the greatest of all time. Tom Hanks is one of those. One of the only actors in history to win Best Lead Actor in a Film Academy Award 2 years in a row. Been nominated a whole bunch of times. The guy just brings it every single time. This guy can play Black Panther, as far as I'm concerned. Tom Hanks, you put him in any role, he will nail it and he will knock it out of the park. And one of the things I've never really seen him play is the villain. And I would love to see him as the villain. Now, don't get me wrong. He made some remark in an interview. It's like, oh yeah, I'd love to play Lex Luthor sometime, blah, blah, blah. And then what we as fans do is like, Tom Hanks has said that he would love to play Lex. Look, it was not, he just said it. Don't think it's going to happen. We're not going to see Tom Hanks as Lex Luthor in the upcoming Batman versus Superman, but how cool would that be? I'm just saying I would be all for it. Give him anything he wants to do. I'm all for it. Amy Rose?
Yeah, well, that was also the Amy Rose is the new Lois Lane day. So, you know, a lot of important reports came out that day. But yeah, Tom Hanks, I mean, Captain Phillips, his last film, I haven't seen Saving Mr. Banks yet, but the sense of humanity he brings to every performance. Like, he literally can do everything. Daniel Day-Lewis is in that category with me as well. Like, there is no ounce of this actor in that role. Like, they are that role. It's just, it baffles me, that amount of talent that Tom Hanks possesses. I would really like to see him play villain. I mean, I really have, I'm trying to think of his film repertoire, and like, I can't really think, I mean, Lady Killer is a little sleazy, but not really a villain. Like, I'm trying to think, like, has he ever played?
I loved him in Lady Killer.
Has he ever really played a villain?
He's been creepy before. We've seen him be creepy in Cloud Atlas.
Yeah, he's played creepy,
but he wasn't a villain. And can you imagine the level? I mean, Marvel, DC, the amount of talent that they're getting continues to rise. I mean, superhero trend's not going to slow down anytime soon. Robert Redford just joined the cast. I mean, it's not impossible. Anthony Hopkins, I mean, it's just incredible. Edward Norton, I mean, the amount of talent, but Tom Hanks would bring it to even the next level. And I can't even imagine. I mean, if you get him as Lex Luthor, that film will be a success, period. Like, I would love to see it, but it's not going to happen. I mean, he doesn't even do junkets anymore because he's at that level where he's like, I'm going to pick what I want. So, yeah, I don't think we're going to see it, but boy, that would make me so happy.
Aaron?
Well, he's expressed interest in wanting to do it, so I think if DC doesn't explore that avenue, that would be kind of a dumb move because he would be incredible. And I would never, ever originally consider him as someone that I'd put on my list to see as a Lex Luthor type. But with him, I really think it'd be amazing, and I'm so excited to think about it. I can't even talk.
And remember,
no, I'd love to see him do that.
And we could get into a situation like a Robert Redford or an Anthony Hopkins, who Anthony Hopkins, you know, has said in interviews, and we've heard other big stars say this too. Anthony Hopkins, look, I've got grandkids who love these characters, so I thought, okay, I'll do it. And Tom Hanks is kind of getting to that level. He's got kids, grandkids, like, hey, they want to see Grandpa in scuffling it up with Superman. Okay, I'll do that.
As the villain?
Maybe as the villain. I think that would be really, really cool. But
then you have the age thing, though, which we've talked about before.
Well, yeah, that would have to come into consideration. But right now, we still don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we don't even know if they're going to have Lex Luthor in the next movie or not.
Yeah.
And then if they do, we don't know what age they're going to have him.
Which is interesting.
But, you know, you raise an interesting point. You bring up, like, Daniel Day-Lewis and talking about that. And really, those, like, Daniel Day-Lewis, Russell Crowe, Tom Hanks, these are the gold standard guys of today, but even in terms of all time. But the one thing about Tom Hanks that I'd even, where he outshines even a Daniel Day-Lewis is, Tom Hanks is the guy who can win an Academy Award for Philadelphia and break all of our hearts and just crush us emotionally. And he's the same dude in Splash.
That was awesome.
Now, I don't know that I can see Daniel Day-Lewis walking into a comedy and have me rolling on the floor. I mean, so Tom Hanks brings just this range. He can do the deepest of drama and the funniest of comedy. Let's see if he can do evil. That would be really cool.
Anything.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.